This is amazing. This is the Beechcraft D18. Huddle up, easing into it a little bit. That tail is already up. Ooh, that is beautiful.
Wow.
That was very nice. Snap it. Ciao. That was amazing.
Looks good upside down.
It does.
It's awesome.
So the vertical climbability on this plane is absolutely insane. Let's go. Here's zero throttle.
Your battery life is
I'm going to nose
crazy.
up and climb.
Wow.
That's impressive. That's impressive. That's power. So flaps are on at full. Oh, that was pretty. I cannot begin to tell you how excited I am, and I know the feeling you guys are feeling right now, how excited you are to see this airplane released by E-Flite of all companies. This is amazing. This is the Beechcraft D18. Oh, and what a cool looking plane. Finally, something that's not a P-51 or an F-16 Thunderbirds or
Corsair.
a Corsair or Turbo Timber. This is just really awesome. I put this together in about 15 minutes the night that I got it, and here we are the next morning. It's calling for rain for the next week, and I have this storm front blowing in right over there, so I'm going to try to get this maiden flight to you guys before that storm blows in. But what a beautiful airplane, and it's actually a really good size too. The box that this comes in is massive. I can't believe they can do free shipping on that. If I ship that out, it'd be like $150. It is obviously a twin engine or a dual motor setup. This comes with differential thrust built into the receiver when you get a bind and fly plane to help with taxiing and straight takeoffs. We have retractable landing gear on the bottom of this beautiful airplane and very nice LEDs. We have navigation lights, great looking lights on the wing, and this, believe it or not, is a 3S or 4S airplane, and you better believe we're flying on 4S in today's maiden flight. The tail assembly on this airplane is obviously very unique. It's very awesome, but the way it went together was sort of unique too. The horizontal stabilizer being here and then the two vertical stabilizers on the outside is going to definitely make a unique flying experience, I think, with this plane. The assembly was a bit unique. It just kind of sits down on top. There's push rods built in there with a steerable servo push rod coming back here to that tail wheel too. Yes, this plane has flaps. It's really everything you would want in a plane like this, with really nice attention to detail. The scale look is great, and we're not just flying on a 2200 milliamp battery today. It's recommended to fly on a 4000 milliamp, and that's what we're going to fly on, but it can go up to 5000 milliamp if you fly on 5000 smart batteries that have an IC5 plug, but this has an IC3 plug, and you need a converter. The good news is anyone that pre-orders this airplane using our link, thank you, thank you, thank you. Seriously, if you pre-order this plane or you order it after it's already been out, please consider using our link because it does help to support our channel and our family. This free video you're watching doesn't cost you anything. It's just a nice way to say thanks when you use that link. It doesn't cost you a single extra penny, but if you pre-order using our link, you get 50% off on that converter cable to go from IC5 to IC3, making it just a nice transition. It works on your charger, and then you can plug it into the airplane as well. This is a maiden flight, so it's a little more winded. I apologize for that. Well, I'm really excited, like not nervous, I'm just excited. So let's put this in the air and see how it does. Let's go. I think just for the fun of things, we'll go half laps on this takeoff. I should have safe on because this is a bind and fly airplane. I've tested it. By the way, this taxis really well. I did play around with it because I had to get off the runway really quickly. But look how tightly that turns. That's very nice for the size of plane that it is. Remember, we have a small bit of differential thrust already in those motors in ESC as a bind and fly plane, no programming required. So hopefully that helps keep us straight. I kind of want to see what the tendencies are. Okay, so we're veering off to the right just a little bit. Okay, let's hope for a nice smooth takeoff. Let's throttle up, easing into it a little bit. That tail is already up. Ooh, that is beautiful.
Wow.
That was very nice. I kind of gave it about a 50% throttle punch. We're gonna kill those flaps. I'll put the retracts up on this next pass, but safe feels really good. And I'm gonna be fairly quiet on this pass because it just sounds cool. Retracts are up. Yes. I love a dual motor airplane. I'm sorry about this overcast day, but at least we are getting to fly it. And really it doesn't look too bad. Those LEDs are popping really nicely. Ooh, this is cool, Abby. Look at that. Oh, I wish you guys could see the smile on my face. This is just awesome to have something new like this from E-Flite. Let's do a little rudder mix slash differential thrust on that bank. This is a 0 throttle pass here. And throttling up. So we're just keeping it a little tame, a little scale to make sure safe feels good and the plane's flying well. Just for the sake of that, let's go full flaps on this pass. There's 0 throttle, full flaps on. Might need a little bit of elevator mixing to make that look really pretty. We're gonna come in with just a little bit of power, maybe 10%. Oh, I knew this would be a floater. Oh, that's nice. Let's kill those flaps so we don't kill it on this bank. And here very soon, I think I'm gonna take safe off. I just wanna do a full throttle pass with safe on to see what that feels like and looks like and sounds like. Here's full throttle. Remember, this is 4S that I have in here now. It's a 4,000 milliamp battery, which is the most recommended battery, but you can fly on a 3S pack too. So let's kick safe off out here and see what this does. Okay, a lot of climb in that, and I was worried about that. I'm actually gonna land this and trim out. What I did, I thought the elevator looked like it was aiming down a lot on the ground, so I did a lot of sub trim on my elevator. So you guys are gonna get 2 bonus flights here. We definitely can't fly with that much elevator into it. I'm gonna land this and see how it does. That is full flaps on, landing gear down, and I want to fly this in today's video with safe off. So I'm gonna see if I can take that sub trim out. Sorry about that bounce. That was a very, very ugly landing. But let's take that sub trim out that I put in there and see if that makes it fly better. Look at that differential thrust. You see that one motor? There's one motor spinning. I can hit the other side and do the other motor. That's awesome. There we go. So there's differential thrust. That's just with your rudder input and a little bit of throttle. I'm gonna take the sub trim out, then we'll try that again, because that was obviously really nasty and totally my fault. So there's half flaps. This is gonna be very interesting. I had a ton of sub trim in there because I thought it needed it visually, and the tail assembly is just a different beast on its own, so I did sub trim instead of taking it out and adjusting the push rod. This is safe on, right straight out of the box where it wants to be. Let's see if I can oh, sorry, Abby. Let's maybe take off this way. You ready?
Okay.
This is where the sub trim wants to be, and everything is let's see, do I have an up elevator? Because on the ground visually with safe on, it doesn't look like I have enough up elevator. This is hands-free off the stick. It's going down just a hair, so I can easily trim that up some. We're gonna take flaps off, get that landing gear up, and I would assume that when I kick safe off, and we're gonna do it a little bit high up this time, it should fly great. And that's the way it should have flown out of the box. I never put sub trim in an airplane on a maiden flight, but just visually it really looked like it needed it, and that's why I did it. So
he built this at midnight last night, you guys. So
let's go safe off now. Oh yeah, there we go. That's what it needed. Oh, this is nice. Okay, let's bring it down a little lower. So basically, guys, don't put sub trim in on your radio. And embarrassingly, I'm happy to tell you that I had that at 250 clicks of up sub trim. That's why it climbed like it did. So here's a roll. Oh, what a pretty roll. Let's go in for a nice loop. Look at that elevator authority. That is just about 25% back on the stick. I do have Expo in on the radio right now. About 25 on the aileron and 20 on the rudder and elevator. Going for a nice roll there.
It looks so good rolling.
It's very, very pretty, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I know that traditionally this plane wouldn't fly quite like this, but I think there is a full-scale pilot that has tricked out one of these and does fly it pretty wild.
We should be his friend.
I want to reach out and say, hey, let's, snap it. Ciao! That was amazing. That was really amazing. Let's go in for a nice, more kind of scale looking thing. Maybe a little bit of a Cuban 8. Oh, yeah. Abby, this plane, I should have let that drop just a little bit lower. There's tons of elevator authority on here. Way more than I expected. I mean, we should be able to probably do, yeah, 90-degree.
Wow.
Box loops here. Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty. What a
Box loops
great
are
pattern
scary.
plane. They are scary because you're going straight down to the ground. Yeah. And I don't know if that's what that is actually called. We're going to go with a full throttle pass here, guys. Nice and showy. We'll do a show pass from right to left. What a cool plane! The wing pieces together in 3 pieces, by the way. Basically, most of your guts. Oh, I could hear one because I was doing rudder on that with the show pass. I could hear one prop spinning faster than the other. I'll shut up on the next show pass. Can I do it from left to right? Maybe not. I could hear it. But I'm going to get it a little closer so you guys can hear this. But the main guts are in the middle part of the wing, and then the 2 tips just clip on and off. So here we go. I wanted you guys to hear that.
You did that low.
Different RPMs.
I can hear it, but I don't know if they can. Oops.
I'm doing some rudder turns for you guys so you can hear that. Should knife edge really well. Pretty well. It's kind of holding a little bit. Basically a show pass. There's not a ton of vertical stabilizer kind of stuff going on back there. There's not a lot of rudder authority on this, but with that differential thrust.
It sounds crazy.
That's what I was trying to be quiet, holding that up like that, because you guys can literally hear. It sounds like 2 airplanes flying in tandem together. Let's listen again. I know it looks goofy here, but I'm doing this for the sound. Oh, that's cool! When you get those props going at different RPMs, it sounds like you're flying 2 planes, and that is fun.
I don't know what you have your radio set at, but...
I've got telemetry. So
okay, I wasn't sure if you had it set up.
Yeah, no worries. Let's see if we can do a rudder over up here. Yeah, this thing is sweet. Wow. This thing is just smiles the whole time. I did a stupid thing on my setup. That's about the only thing that I don't like about this so far. I'm just having some goofy fun with it.
You upside down? No.
No.
Looks like you went upside down for a minute.
You know what we can do? Let's try something. Okay, I didn't want to do that yet because I haven't flown it inverted, so I didn't know how was it going to fly upside down.
I was wondering, like, oh my gosh, there you go.
Inverted off of that because
knowing.
Maybe it can't fly upside down, so let's just
looks like it can.
Yeah, we're doing okay on this.
Looks good upside down.
It does.
It's awesome.
And then power up and out of that. Oh, no weird tendencies out of this. It's not pulling one way or the other. This is so nice. Let's mixing in some rudder and differential thrust on that roll. It sounds neat when you do that. Oh, it's just cool. Crank it by.
You got so low.
And then snapping. Man, that's just awesome. Really awesome. I feel like I'm forgetting a maneuver or 2 that I'd like to try, and then I get home and I watch and I'm like, why didn't I try that? Yeah, this is really cool. Oh, you know what? I don't want to do a 4-point roll on this. I don't think it can handle it because it doesn't really handle the knife edge very well, and I'm not good at 4-point rolls.
Were you reading my thoughts? I didn't say anything. I was literally going to ask you that, and then you answered.
It would be a good one to do because I'm just kind of learning the 4-point roll. But this plane doesn't hold it on its side very well for very long. It's kind of weird because it has differential thrust. So you're not just using rudder, you also are fighting a little bit of like up pull because of one of those motors. And so it's not the like traditional feel of just holding it on its side. And this being a maiden, I definitely don't want to break it yet. But we'll do this. Yeah, that was nice. So the vertical climbability on this plane is absolutely insane. Let's go. Here's 0 throttle.
Your battery life is crazy.
I'm going to nose up and climb.
Wow.
That's impressive. That's impressive. That's power. That's power. You saw that, guys, right? That was almost a stall. And this is a heavily used battery now. So Abby, you're right. The battery life is impressive. I turned my telemetry meter to go down 3.2 volts because I wanted to make sure we had a nice long flight on this, but obviously we're getting a nice long flight. So let's drop the landing gear now. Comes down fairly quickly, I like that. And then after this bank, we're going to just come in for a traditional approach, go full flaps, and see if we can clean up the landing a little bit more from that last time. Oh, that was nice. That didn't climb like it did the last time with safe on for some reason. That was just a lot cleaner. So flaps are on at full. Oh, that was pretty. Oh, that was
Held
nice.
my breath for you on that one.
I came in under some power. I had about 10% power coming in with that, and it needed it. That was just beautiful. Wow. The Beechcraft D18. Oh, I'm happy. Wow. How long were we in the air? About?
I had you at 7.5, and then the flight before that was a couple minutes. So
close to 10?
Probably pretty close to 10.
Voltage is at 3.72 volts per cell. That's amazing. We were not even pushing being low. I could have flown for 2 or 3 more minutes easily. That's like a 12 or more minute flight. Wow. Here, I just wanted you guys to get a nice close shot of those lights so you can actually see them. You know, it's a little bit, it's overcast, but it's still a little, it's bright enough for me to wear sunglasses, so I don't know how well those will show up. But here, let's do this. So with rudder and then a bit of throttle, I can get one prop to spin. That is differential thrust. You have that in flight too, not just on the ground for takeoff. And so that is so nice mixed with our fancy little dual rudder back here.
So cute.
It is. It is. What a cool airplane. E-Flite, thanks for making something different to crack a smile on my face, and I'm sure thousands of others' faces across America and the world today. This is very cool. Bravo, please keep this type of thing up. Now again, guys, that was a 4,000 milliamp battery. I think they suggest that you could also fly on a 3,200 milliamp battery, but I was a little worried. I thought, I'm not gonna get a very long flight out of this. I was assuming a 4,000 milliamp battery would give me about a 5-minute flight. How wrong was I? And I'm so happy that I was wrong about that. My goodness. Just the only thing I can tell you is when you put this tail assembly on, that tail, if you have it in safe, it's going to look like the elevator is going down, because it is. And it just threw me off. And it's kind of a little weird putting this together, so I didn't want to take it apart and put it together a bunch. So I did sub trim, thinking I'm going to make it look level with this horizontal stabilizer, and apparently you don't need to do that. So don't let that throw you off. Oh, what a sweet plane. I hope you guys had a great time enjoying this flight with us. What an awesome maiden. A lot of times after a maiden flight, I like to tell you, you know, it has a tendency to roll to the right or something, right? Amazingly, it didn't have any weird flying tendencies.
It looked like your only issue was on takeoff.
Yeah, okay.
Kicking
so
one way.
On takeoff, I tried to ease into it, and surprisingly, like really surprisingly, a lot of times what you want to do is kind of roll into it and get the path going and then ease into the throttle and rudder right or left and commit, right? With this, you kind of punch up to about 30% throttle or so, and it's happy. That tail, and I punched to 20-30% throttle, that tail within like a foot was lifted up. And once that tail lifts up, it's holding true and straight. And so it's a nice, easy takeoff, but it needs a little punch. And you're right. Yeah, that takeoff was not great until I figured that out. And so what a cool plane. If you love this thing, and oh, I hope you do, and it's maybe not your first airplane, please consider pre-ordering yours if you're watching this when it's out early, as most of you probably are, and you're awesome for being a subscriber and catching our content early. Pre-order yours using our link. It doesn't cost you any extra money. We've got a 50% off on that converter cable if you so choose to take advantage of that through our link. And it just helps to support our channel and our family. If you had a good time watching this maiden flight, hanging out with us, and appreciate the family-friendly content, then please do pre-order through our link. Otherwise, just enjoy this. You gotta, if you like seeing different things by E-Flite, not just another, not that there's anything wrong with a turbo timber, but it's not just another turbo timber, then you gotta buy stuff like this so they understand this is what we wanna see, some unique, different, cool things. So anyway, there you have it. I highly recommend you fly it on 4S. I brought it right up to like a snapped vertical standing, almost stall, at the end of a battery life and then punched out of that, and it kept up with that vertical climb. It's so impressive. I'm really happy with this. And I had a weird quirky thing that I did with Safe On, and I make mistakes. I crash things too. You just never know what's going to happen. And for that reason, I'm glad I fly with AMA, the Academy of Model Aeronautics. They make me feel so safe and just let me open up to my true flying potential. I like to try to push and do some things that maybe I wouldn't do if I didn't have the AMA in my wallet 24/7. So I highly encourage you guys to fly with insurance. It's the safe, smart thing to do, whether you're a pro or just beginning your very first airplane or drone or anything. We'll have AMA linked in the description box below. You really do need to pick that up. It's a fraction of the cost of an airplane. You got the cost of a battery or two. Listen, Abby and I looked at the weather last night when I put this plane together. She's like, Nate, I don't think you're gonna get to fly this for a week. It's calling for rain for an entire week. So for holding off the rain today, and I know it wasn't just for me, but sometimes I feel like it was. I feel really lucky, really blessed, and for that, thank God. Just giving us the opportunity to get out here and fly this plane, show you guys how much fun it is and how cool this thing is, and just holding off the rain long enough to bring a video to you. I'm very grateful. And a massive thanks, while we're talking about gratitude, to our Patreon supporters. We couldn't do what we do as often as we do it without your amazing support. Please consider signing up for Patreon to support us the most direct way possible. We'll have that linked in the description box below too. And guys, if you enjoyed this flight, you like planes with 2 motors, I have one that comes to mind that is just outstandingly awesome, a little bit cheaper than this, and maybe that'll be your cup of tea. It's more beginner friendly, made by the same company. A lot of you know what I'm talking about, but if you don't, that video is popping up right about now. Totally worth your time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you there.
Bye.